Have you ever Googled something? Now, before you hit skip or jump to that next search result in your YouTube feed, consider this. What if you could Google your brain and get the answers and the encouragement that you need to succeed? Curious? Well, join me today as we take a leap down this rabbit hole together. Let's tap back in. Google is a funny thing. What happens if I Google which is better, Chipotle or Moe's? I get answers and links to discussions and hyper-detailed debates about people obsessing over the subject. Side note, it's Chipotle. Similarly, if I Google, what is the answer to life, the universe, and everything, I get an answer to that as well. The answer, 42. Seriously. You see, Google looks for hits and not misses when you search for things. It's looking for information that matches your search, which makes sense, right? If I'm looking for a local plumber to fix my upstairs toilet and the first result is a proctologist, there might be some confusion. Or maybe the universe is trying to tell me something. I don't know. The funny thing is that our brains are the same way. When we ask ourselves a question, our brains look for hits and not misses. When you are faced with another bar on another Friday night and you see the person of your dreams across the way, you might think to yourself, will they say yes? And if you've had a string of bad luck, your brain is going to bring up all of those failures and give you an answer. And thus, you may make the choice not to ask that person out to avoid another embarrassment or perceived failure. You might be tempted to go back to school, or either switch jobs or leverage a degree to make more money in your current field. You think to yourself, I don't have time to do this, do I? And sure enough, your brain is going to kick into high gear and give you answers like your daughter's dance classes, your son's football schedule, your current workload, grocery shopping, and not to mention that minefield of dog poop that is in your backyard, which, seriously, you need to pick that up, by the way. Google looks for hits and not misses. Your brain looks for hits and not misses. And you might be thinking, okay, Mike, well, that's all well and good, but what if our brain is telling us things that are true? That's fine. But if it stops you from taking risks, taking chances, and having a better life, then it becomes a problem. The secret? Ask better questions. If you're sitting across the bar from that person you want to ask out, don't ask, will they say yes? Ask, do I have the courage to ask them out? Even if you've had a string of failures, your brain is going to look for examples of you being successful in just asking. Why? Because it's a better question. When faced with going back to school, don't ask if you have the time. Ask something that gets you to consider the possibility. If I go back to school, what will it allow me to do for my family? Or what are some examples of things I do outside of work that I'm able to make time for? Your brain will give you examples, the examples you need to be more confident in taking the leap. And that's how you tap back in. The next time you're faced with something you want to accomplish or try, ask better questions. You see, the past few months, I made a choice not to write or film these videos for a short time. It was the right choice, but now I find myself in a new year, 2020, and I wanted to start writing and filming again. And well, I was and am nervous. I started asking questions in my head like, what if I can't write anymore? What if I've lost my edge? And I had thoughts like, wouldn't it be easier if I just extended my break a little longer? And you know what? My brain gave me hits and not misses. I had plenty of reasons and examples to stop and hold back. So I decided to ask better questions. Questions like, when I put my mind to it, can I usually write? Is it okay if what I write isn't perfect? Do I have fun with writing and filming and the editing process? Don't I? I usually do. And by asking better questions, I found my way here to your screen. You can do the same. Google your brain. Ask better questions. Get better answers. My name is Michael Leone, and you've just tapped back in.